Chesapeake Lanes in Chesapeake, Virginia, 2017 MEAC Bowling Championship. And a good crowd on hand to cheer their respective teams on. A lot of parents have come down to cheer on both squads here at the Chesapeake Lanes. We have our leadoff bowler for Merlin East and Shore, Jacqueline Rhoda, had a spare. And she has a strike here in the 6th frame.
Jacqueline also has a beautiful game. She has great roll on her ball, but she went a little too direct. That's why it went to the left of the head pin, so she probably just needs to make a little adjustment left and project the ball a little further to the right. But all of these ladies have beautiful form.
I guess she got lucky.
I think she got just a little bit lucky, but listen, I'd rather be lucky than good 25 years later. She still just appears to be a little tight. She's not projecting the ball to her break point. She's tugging it. She's pulling a little bit, which means she's helping it. What we try to tell students is don't help it. You pay a lot for the bowling balls. Let the ball do the work.
9 pin still standing, and let's see if she can pick up the spare.
Much better. That'll loosen her up a little bit. She needed that.
Alexandra Hernandez, strike, frame number 2. Needs a couple standing this time.
Ball went a little high. Now Alexandra, as Coach Bandy said, is the most passionate. She had to sit out a year, and she worked. She practiced. She read about bowling. She just went to the bowling center all the time, just absorbed everything she could to find any way she could get better, physically and mentally. And that has to be respected.
And the reason she had to sit out was she bowled so many international tournaments.
Yes, and the rule is when you do that, they make you sit out a year. And that was tough for her because you can see how competitive she is. She's surrounded by a competitive team. So that was tough, but she used it to her advantage, and here she is.
Great spare for her, which brings on Brianna Bowes. She left an open frame.
Better shot. Very nice.
Right.
She tripped that forward pin. It was a little high, but those are the breaks you need in order to win.
Almost a late break, wasn't it?
It was a little bit of a late break. Once again, stays on her shot, eye on her mark. Beautiful. You need a few of those in order to win.
Danielle August, kinesiology major. Last year, her freshman year, she rolled a 214 as a high at the Kutztown Invitational. This year, 278. She was able to put down at the Midwinter Invitational. Missed the head pin, but still a very makeable spare standing there for her.
Yes. She got that ball a little far to the right. She's also got, as you can see, a lot of shine on the surface of that bowling ball, which is what's going to cause it to keep sliding down the lane if she misses her target.
We talked to each of the young ladies about their weaknesses and strengths, and they talked about this young lady, Miss August, and she's trying to pick up this spare, and she does. Sometimes she says she doubts herself.
You know, we got that from a lot of these ladies, too. They're great at spares and good energy, glue of keeping the team together mentally. But a lot of them said that they doubt themselves.
It was interesting when we looked at the bios of the young ladies from North Carolina A&T. One of the questions in there was, who's your favorite bowler? And only 3 of them took their coach. This is Christ.
Maybe they thought that was a trick question.
Probably so. Let's watch Kaylee's approach.
Now, she looked like she fell off. She fell off right at the point of release. which is going to not keep your ball on target. So I don't know whether she's stuck or her timing was a little late and she pulled through that, but she fell off at the point of release, and that caused the bad shot. Much better.
She did. Oh, never broke one.
No, you can see that there's a hang spot to the right. There's a lot of lane conditioner to the right, so they have to be careful on how they get their ball in that area.
Watching some of the matches yesterday of these same two lanes, it seemed like the right lane created more problems for the bowlers than the one on the left, the lane which Maryland Eastern Shore is bowling on at the current time.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. One lane could be hooking more than the other lane, and that's just where you have to, you have to batten down the hatches and really dig deep, and that's when your adjustments come in play. You have to know what to do and when to do it.
Kayla Hicks leaves two.
Kayla
Again,
Hicks
very makeable.
Yes, and she's had a great freshman year.
Yes, she has.
She's got some success under her belt. She looks nice and relaxed. Her ball just doesn't pick up a roll quick enough to grab the lane, and that's why she came up one.
As I mentioned earlier, co-rookie of the year in the conference, along with Alexis Newer of Delaware State. And she says her strength is spare, so
Yes.
let's see if she holds true to what she told us was her strength. Because the last, her first roll of this game, she left open frame. Not this time. Not this time. But let's watch her approach.
You can see she came through, but she kept her swing nice and straight, kept the ball on line, picked up the spare. Strikes are great, but spares usually win.
Mia Pope, strike, the number 4 bowler for the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. The Aggies in her first year.
Now, because she's the only lefty, it would be the opposite. She pulled that to the right, and that's why she went to the right of the head pin. So another one who just needs to loosen up. Could be a little more difficult for her too, because she is the only lefty, so there's nobody on her side of the lane that's breaking it down for her.
So the lefty have to get it between the 1 and 2 pin, and the righties between the 1 and 3.
Correct.
Trying to pick up the spare.
Very
And
nice.
she does.
Yeah, the difference between the righties and the lefties is when you're on the left side of the lane and you're the only one, it's as though you're bowling on a fresh condition every time, unless you're bowling on that pair for quite some time. On the right, the shot has a tendency to break down because there's more of them.
A lot of people do not understand the Baker format, but how important the anchor bowler is in this format, especially now in frame number 10, because as in any bowling match, if you strike out, you get three rolls in that
Yes.
10th frame. So that's why the anchor bowler, the person who bowls number 5 and number 10, are so important. A little late break, and she has a terrible split there.
She gets the ball off her hand pretty quick. So quick you can't even see it at the point of release. But if she misses her break point, it's going to go through it. So she has a tendency maybe to throw it through her break point, which means once it goes past, the lane conditioner is going to grab it and it's just going to keep skidding, which is what it did there. She also has a lot of ball speed. So there could be some conditions where she could maybe back off on the ball speed and just slow it down just a little bit. She's even got quick feet. Now you could see there in the spare shot, it was almost as though she dropped it a little bit. And that's very uncharacteristic of her, because she really is the most consistent bowler on the team. But you can see how quick she gets it off her hand. And if it's not a good shot, it could result in what we just saw.
So here's Mackenzie Robinson. She'll have 3 opportunities to strike here, frame number 10, and give her team a 1-0 edge in this best-of-7 format, based on what just happened to Tashina Soros. See if McKenzie can come through for the Lady
Good
Aggies.
shot.
Yes, he does. Big
Very
strike.
good shot.
We'll have two more.
It's funny, when you speak to her in an interview, she's quite soft-spoken. But boy, when she throws that ball.
Very aggressive.
Yes.
They call it a quiet assassin.
That's perfect. That's great.
Mackenzie Robinson plans to go to grad school after she graduates from North Carolina A&T in May, with a degree in accounting.
Another great shot. Came up just a little high to leave the 4-pin, but fantastic finish.
And she'll have one more shot. This gives the Aggies a 1-0 advantage in game number 1.
Her and Tishana really have similar games, similar styles, but Mackenzie actually stays in the ball a little longer, whereas Tishana gets out of it very quick.
And she picks up the spare. So the final, 175-170. And North Carolina A&T wins game number 1.